And welcome to the Arlene Show. Have you ever struggled with moving forward, procrastination, with anxiety, with wanting to do something but not being able to accomplish it? Well, you're in the right place today because that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about 9 tools that you can use in order to move forward. So, step number 1, did you know that it's not just a matter of you being locked in some kind of ritual and not being able to move forward, but it's actually your habits. Your habits are what is making you procrastinate or operate under this concept of anxiety or fear. It's just a habit. You're running your habit ritual. So if I asked you what happens before you feel depressed, distressed, before you procrastinate, you're going to tell me you pretty much have your head down, you feel distressed, you feel sad. It's a ritual that you're running. And there's so many things that we can do to adjust it, to adjust the ritual. So today I'm going to tell you 9 secrets about how you can reverse that so that when you're wanting to move forward in a particular area, you can be able to move forward with ease. And by the way, it's not just you that are encountering this. Everyone is encountering this. Yes, even Oprah Winfrey, even Bill Gates, she spoke about it and said she has a coach right now that helps her to overcome some of these challenges. So we're going to be right back. I'm going to introduce myself to you, and then we're going to get right into the 8 steps. Okay, there's a great book by the author called Napoleon Hill, and it's called Outwitting the Devil. Sounds like a crazy title, right? But he actually talks about this concept of drifting. So we have a habit of doing things that lead us down the road to procrastination, down the road to anxiety, down the road to fear. And if we want to shift it and adjust it, then we have to make a shift. So step number 1, like I said, is changing those habits. But how do we change those habits? First step, make a shift in terms of the flow. Okay, we have to control our thought patterns. We have to become conscious of what we're thinking and not just allow the normal flow to continue. Okay, we've got to change those thought patterns. So, what are some things that we can do as we're looking to change those thought patterns? Well, we have to stop. We have to be conscious of this drifting. Okay, and not drift anymore. We have to be conscious of it. Do we have the ability to stop drifting? Absolutely. Don't allow that pattern to begin. So what are some things that we do? In that book, 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear and Getting Unstuck, I talk about the secret of what are you putting in? What you put in is what comes out. So some of us are running these habits of procrastination, of fear, of self-doubt, because we're eating things that are causing us to feel fearful. We're eating things that are causing us to feel afraid, and we don't realize it. Could it be as simple as changing our habits and changing what we're eating in terms of the secrets? Could it be as simple as visualizing what we truly want to think about and what we truly want to happen in order for us not to drift? Yes. Okay. And there are 10 secrets in that book that I speak about that help us to prevent this concept of drifting. All right. Another one is that we are one decision away from changing our life. Is it as simple as deciding that we don't have to think those things anymore, those thoughts anymore? Yes. Yes. If you've been procrastinating or you've been operating in fear, it is as simple as deciding that you will no longer have those thoughts, as well as putting these steps into practice. So what's another thing that we need to do? we need to not just use positive thinking anymore, because positive thinking, we've realized, it really just doesn't work. Well, why is it that just thinking positively doesn't work? Because we have these rituals, because we have this habit of drifting, because we've not visualized where we truly want to go. We're just living life, like they say, on autopilot and allowing our decisions to be on autopilot. But the minute we begin to stop, take a deep breath, and shift to another type of code, then we'll begin to move forward and operate in the way that we truly want to operate, and then get the results that we truly want to get. So, secret number one is to be clear. Okay. We say step number one in this process is to be clear. Be clear about where we're going, what it is that we want to accomplish, what it is that we want to do. And if it seems like I've said this before, it's because I have. And if we've not yet accomplished it, because none of us have fully arrived, it's because we still have these other habits. So, step number one, get clear of what we want. Step number two in the process, as I said, we're going to visualize what it is that we want so that we can get control of those patterns that we have had in the past and those habits that we've had in the past. And step number three, we're going to stop being on autopilot and actually begin writing down some of the decisions or thought processes that we want to have. Write it down. What a concept of entering the day, deciding how you want to think about yourself and deciding how you want to feel about yourself today. And do I say just think about it? Positive thinking doesn't work. We have to actually write it. Why? Because there's a connection between the brain and our physical body, whereby if we write it, it actually registers more within our subconscious mind than just thinking about it. So it's like you're giving your body a double whammy, as opposed to just using the one skill of just thinking positively. Write it 35 times. This is who I choose to be today. This is where I choose to go today. And you will see how that ritual that you had been running in the past gets altered. Okay, because now you're conscious of what it is that you're doing. And this concept of is called metacognition. It's a fancy schmancy word, but basically it means that we have the ability to decide where it is that we're going and what it is that we want as an outcome in our lives. So we also have to determine how we feel. Constantly be conscious of how we're feeling. So our thoughts determine our feelings, and our feelings determine our actions. So how are we feeling? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling anxious? Well, chances are that you're going to begin running that ritual. But this is a key secret that I want to share with you. Those feelings of excitement, where you feel your palms are sweaty, you feel like you have this exhilaration and energy. You feel like you can do anything in the world, this feeling of excitement. Actually, those things that are happening in our body, the same things happen when we feel fear. Our palms get sweaty, our armpits get sweaty. We feel a feeling of like energy coming up within us. But it's up to us to decide what that feeling is and label that feeling or label that emotion. Is it anxiety? Or is it excitement? Okay, is that feeling fear, in which case we're going to sit back and do that fight or flight ritual? Or is that feeling a feeling of excitement? So I've been speaking in public since I was about 4 years old. I would get up in church and I would have to recite different things. And for those of you who've known me a long time, you know that public speaking is one of the things that I do. And we have a program where we teach people who've not always had this habit of public speaking how to do better with their public speaking. But one of the secrets is that I've always done it. Okay? So my mentality is I'm excited. Okay? When I move forward in that arena and I have to do a speaking engagement, I'm excited. My palms are sweaty. My armpits are sweaty. I feel a sense of I'm not sure, but I label it as excitement. You can too. And this is how I want you to walk through life. I'd like you to walk through life labeling your feelings and emotions in I don't really want to say in a positive light, but in a light that is going to energize you and cause you to move forward. If you're labeling it as procrastination, as fear, as anxiety, then you're going to run the ritual of fear, anxiety, and procrastination. But there is a way to make an adjustment. And if we make that adjustment, then the result that we have in our lives will be different. I promise you. Okay, there's so many situations that are coming to mind where I could have operated in fear, or in the past I operated in fear, but now I operate with excitement. So right now behind me, this is the bay. This is the San Francisco Bay. Okay, I'm like right by the water and I'm on the top of a hill, and I could say, oh, I'm running my nervous ritual. Okay, because I'm on top of a hill and I'm on the bay, and I'm not sure what's going to happen next. Or I can do what I'm doing now, which is I'm going to run my excitement ritual. So I'm here on the San Francisco Bay by the water, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do next after this session, but I'm so excited. Okay, so just label. Is it as simple as labeling it? Is it as simple as deciding? Well, yes, it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. So I'm going to challenge you to begin looking at things from that perspective and labeling them, and using your metacognition to support your drive and your vision and your goals and your dreams, rather than using it to suppress you or to hold you back or to cause you to live in those other spaces that don't cause you to move forward and be energized. All right, so I have a few more that I'm going to share with you as far as your starting rituals, so that you'll know exactly how to start this up when we come back right after this message.
I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And I'm here to tell you 2 reasons why you should join our Speakers Bureau training, and how to become a world-class speaker. 1, revenue generation. People who know how to communicate well earn more dollars and cents. And 2, if you have a day job, you're not a speaker, teacher, author, trainer, you're going to gain promotion on your job if you're better able to communicate with confidence in those board meetings. Now, you say, why should I join your group, Arlene? There are so many programs out there. Well, I'm guaranteeing you an interview on television or radio if you complete our 10 sessions of our Speakers Bureau training. So I have a plethora of friends that do the same types of things that I do, and so we're guaranteeing you an interview on either television or radio. And you say, well, why else, Arlene? Why else should I join? Well, if you join our Speakers Bureau, after having taken the 10-session training, I am going to help you, along with our team, to launch that speaking career that you always envisioned, so that you can use your message to change the world. So there's so many programs out there, and they tell you how to be a speaker, but I'm going to actually help you to get booked on paid speaking engagements on television and on radio if you complete all 10 sessions and you join our Speakers Bureau. I hope to see you there, and see you using your dream, your vision, and your talent to change the world. Bye-bye. See you there.
Hello and welcome back. Okay, we're going to now talk about the last few tools that we can use in order to not think positively, because we decided that positive thinking doesn't work, but how we can begin to operate in a more productive and helpful manner. So there's so many positive books out there. There's so many pieces of material that tell you to just think positively. Today, I'm saying to you, you've tried that in the past, and guess what? You're absolutely right. It does not work, okay? It's very hard for us to just think one thought, and we have had a habit of thinking these negative thoughts in the past. We have to interrupt that pattern. Okay, I'll give you an example. It's like watching television, right? We've been watching a particular program on television, and our mind has told us that we have a habit of watching this particular program on television. If I decide that I don't want to watch that program on television again, I can't just think differently or think positively. I have to actually turn the switch and turn off that show, okay? And then start something else, or start somewhere else, or turn off the TV altogether and start a new program. That's how our mind works. That's how our brain works. Okay, Christina, okay, Crystal, okay, Amani. Our brain works in a way that says, in order to interrupt the pattern that we've always had, we have to shift. We have to turn it off. Okay, turn off those thoughts and interrupt the pattern, and in order to begin thinking some new thoughts. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, one of the things that we use is called a starting ritual. A what? A starting ritual. So many of us have activities that we have wanted to accomplish. Like, for example, for me, I would like to reduce my chip eating. Everybody's heard about my chip eating. So there's a lovely marketplace, okay? And in that marketplace, they have these amazing veggie straws. And every time I go to this grocery store, I buy the veggie straws. Now, I don't really want to buy them anymore because they're really salty and I eat the whole bag. So how do I interrupt my pattern? How do I interrupt that ritual? Well, I decided that I was just going to think positively. I was going to go to that store and I'm just going to operate with willpower and I'm going to think positive thoughts and I'm not going to buy the chips, right? Sounds like not a big deal, right? Easy to do, also easy not to do. And I would generally purchase the chips. So what did I have to do? I had to interrupt my pattern. Guess what, guys? If I know that when I go to that store, I entertain those thoughts, all the thoughts, my saliva starts going because I'm already tasting the flavor of those amazing chips. What do I have to do? I have to not go to that store. Is it as easy as that? Could I not go to that particular grocery store? Yes. Could you not hang out with those people that cause you to feel anxious, depressed, that cause you to procrastinate, and start hanging out with other people who enable you to feel powerful and get things done and accomplished and excited? Yes. Yes. That's the secret. In order to make that shift, in order to make that adjustment, to do things differently. I'm giving you the simple steps. Okay? Like the concept. There's a concept that everyone knows. It's called an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But how many of us eat the apple a day? It's not a candy bar a day or a chip a day. But what are you doing every day as opposed to eating the apple? So that leads me to my next step. It's not the what, but it's the how. So I may be going to the grocery store, okay? But if I'm thinking about those negative thoughts that cause me to take this particular action, then I need to begin to do things that are going to allow me to have the positive result that I want. So it's not what, it's not like I'm not going to the grocery store. It's not that you're not going to hang out with friends or you're not going to do whatever it is that you have been doing or you feel is essential, but it's how. Okay, so how? How am I doing it? Am I doing it by going there, right? Where I feel stressed and there's like tug of war because I'm constantly thinking about the chips and, oh, I'm not going to have them today. But because I didn't have them today, tomorrow I want 2 bags of chips because I didn't have them yesterday. Okay, it's the how, all right? Not just the what, but the how. So how are you operating today in order to achieve those goals and dreams and whatever it is? And for you, it's different. It may be a matter of, so I'm thinking of one particular young lady. I hope that she's watching right now. Okay, I'm going to think of you. I can see you in my mind, but your name is not coming out. And I know you're on. Okay, Jim. Jim has a habit, okay, of wanting to not operate in anxiety. And he has a counselor. And every week, he goes to the counselor and he talks about his anxiety. He talks about his level of depression and he talks about what has happened for the week. And the question is, do you want to continue to function in that manner? Or do you want to begin talking about what you truly want to accomplish, what your true goals are? You want that increase of pay, you want to move up on your job, you want to get that promotion. Are you talking with people about the promotion? Or are you, on the other hand, talking with people about how much you don't like what you're doing and how it's not working and how things are not coming together for you in the way that you want? You have an option, okay? And that leads me to the next one, which is not just don't be on autopilot, but that you have to look at what we are internalizing, okay? Because whatever we focus on is what's going to manifest out there in the world. So if we want to stop operating in procrastination and we want to stop operating in fear and doubt, then we have to begin stepping out of our comfort zone, okay? And there is this concept that you have, if this is still in line with habits, that you have a way of doing things, a way that you've been all along, maybe since birth, maybe since you were 5 years old, you always, caught a quick attitude, or maybe you often, have difficulty in relationships. I'm saying today, in the last 5 minutes of our program, I'm saying that we can make a shift. And this shift could possibly change your life. All right. In the book, 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear and Getting Unstuck, I talk about proximity. And what are you in proximity with or proximity to? Are you talking to the person who's been promoted on that job? Are you talking to management and managers who are the decision makers, who have the authority and the ability to help you with that shift? Or are you talking to your peers who are at the same level as you and don't necessarily have any additional information than the information that you have about how to move forward? Okay, so if you look at your friends and your family, you are within 5,000, I shouldn't say family because some of us don't spend time with our family at all. So let's just say the people that you spend your time with, you earn within $5,000 of the people that you spend most of your time with, because your knowledge base is the same as their knowledge base. So what is the clue? The clue is to make a shift. We have to gain proximity, guys, with those people who are accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish. Can we get a coach? Yes. Arlene McLaren is a coach. You can hire a coach. Or you can just call me and ask me, tell me what it is that you're doing. And pretty much 9 out of 10, I can tell you, if you're not getting the result that you want, you're thinking a thought that is a limiting belief. So you may not be conscious of it because you're not aware that it's a limiting belief. And it's the same belief that all of the other people around you have, which is why you're all getting to the same level. So if you want to accomplish something different, we have to let it out. We have to share what our thought process is so that we can get out and shift from that position. So am I sharing this because I have all the pieces of the puzzle already lined up and I'm sitting in nirvana and you're sitting in Hades? No, I'm not saying that we're all in the perfect place, but there are some things that we can think. There are some shifts that are generic to the process that if you're not thinking, they're preventing you from moving forward. So if you find yourself crying on the phone, talking to your friend about the situation with the gentleman, as opposed to moving forward and being happily married, chances are that there's something in your thought process that keeps putting you in that situation. Because 9 times out of 10, the same situation that you're in now, that you're talking about with Janet or with Jim, is a similar situation to what you've been in the past. About one of the principles. So the principle is you don't know what you don't know. Okay? So everyone says, well, if you don't know, ask questions. But chances are you're only asking questions about the things that you know. There's something called a Johari window, which is a hidden window that you can't see. So when I was doing my master's program, we looked at this Johari window and we said, well, that's the segment of the 4 segments that you cannot see about you, but other people can see. So I was working with a young lady who was a major executive at Sony. She was at the top of her game and so successful. In fact, she launched her own business.
she was trying to 10x the business, but she couldn't get it to move forward, and she wasn't sure why. So in this mastermind group, I was able to say to her, listen, you were the it girl. You are the it girl, and so you want all the people to come to you. And what she couldn't see was that by having all of her clients come to her and talk with her, she was actually stifling the growth of her business. Hi, I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And as a business consultant and life coach, I help you to move forward in your business, project, or endeavor. So if you always wanted to write a book, but you just haven't seemed to get started, or you always wanted to 10x that business that you already have, expand it to the next level, you know exactly what you need to do, but you just haven't done it? Well, I've already purchased all the courses, read all the books, the Tony Robbins, all sorts. I have several degrees, including a master's degree and credits toward a doctorate. I've sat with and met celebrities and done the networking. And what I've realized is what I really needed was a mastermind group of people working toward my project, my business, or my endeavor. So what I've done is met with coaches and met with experts and put them together to work on your project. So join us today for our mastermind networking group. I'll see you there. Click the link below and join us.
Hello, I'm Arlene McLaren. I'm a life coach and a business consultant. I help you to move forward in your business, project, or endeavor. So I'm reminding you, you can go where you want to go. You can do what you want to do. And you can be who you want to be in the world. Today, I'm in a beautiful scenery in Napa County with the beautiful water and the beautiful mountains. And what I'm saying to you is you can live your best life. So I have a 5-day, 3-step program for you, free of cost, to help you to live your best life. Please click the link below and start your 5-day course. That's my gift to you so that you can begin to live your best life. Those dreams that you always had, those goals that you've always had, those things that you've held in your heart and in your mind that you just haven't yet manifested, we'll take this 5-day program and let's begin getting you on that journey. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you there.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. I'd like to thank our team, Angel, and I would love to ask you to please go to askarleneshow.com, log on, drop me a line, let me know where you are in the process, and we'd love to help you in terms of life coaching. And also text below if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards and tell us what you think of the show. Tell us what points were of interest to you and also what kinds of topics you'd like to see us do in future. All right. Thank you so much for your time, because without you listeners, we don't have a show. And to all of you who have subscribed to the Ask Arlene show today, I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Love you much. Till next time, next week, same place, Thursday at 7 o'clock. Bye-bye.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama?
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Name some things I'll be without you, good. Stop the growth, I bet you think you could. Said you gon' leave me, man, I wish you would. Yeah, I'm different, so I'm misunderstood. So I'm